Welcome class, myself Professor D.S. Rai, Professor Department of Civil Engineering, BBD, Institute of Technology and Management. Today we will cover subject KCE 076 Urban Transportation Planning System. The references that I have taken are Chakrabarti, Partha and Das Animesh, Principle of Transportation Engineering, Pecostas CS and Frederus PD, Transportation Engineering and Planning, Kadiali LR and Lal NB, Principle and Practice of Highway Engineering. And next reference is NPTEL, and some material have been taken from the net. In this topic, we will cover transportation planning and urbanization, goals and objectives, needs and generation of alternatives. So, in this lecture we will cover these contents. So, first of all we go for transportation planning. What is transportation planning? The process of conducting transportation planning studies has developed and is still evolving for providing a systematic method for solving urban transport problem. The fundamental principle which underlies most transport planning study is that some future year equilibrium conditions of an urban area is meaning a state to attempt to predict and evaluate. Apart from this, in order to develop a good and an efficient transport facility, it is necessary to have a proper planning procedure in a place. Development of comprehensive plan for the construction and operation of transportation facilities. And this transportation planning should be continuous and dynamic, means in every year or every time that should be changed with requirement of the city, the urban areas, and this should be dynamic, and this should be sensitive to the continuing changes in the socio-economic needs, technology and financial status of a state and its people. The planning should be rational, that is a methodological rather than the political, where a decision on construction and operation of transportation are taken by the political functionaries to gain short term popularities. The country like India have a democratic setup where the topmost or apex body is led by political persons, and they take a decision for a short term popularity which may or may not be useful for the particular city needs. In such cases, more often than not, the development is piecemeal and the crisis mitigation oriented, leading to largely inefficient use of the limited resources. Being a developing country, the resources are limited in our country for development of the urban transportation. So, whatever the financial constraint are there, that should be implemented, and utilization of resources must be in full capacity, means utilization shall be done for the benefit of the maximum people and the society. Activity or process that examine the political potential of future action to the guide a situation or a system towards a desired direction. The first, towards the attainment of positive goal. B, the avoidance of the problem, and C, both. It is oriented towards the future, means whatever the planning we are going to do, that should be for the future of the urban area. A planning activity occurs during one time period, but is concerned with the action to be taken at the various time of the future. Although planning may increase that likelihood that a recommended action will actually take place, it does not guarantee that the planned action will be invariably be implemented exactly as conceived or on schedule. Another time element of important to planning's forward looking perspective is the lag between the time when the action is to be taken and the time when its effect are left. This time the lag depends on many factors, including a scope and the magnitude of contemplated action. The fundamental purpose of transportation is to provide efficient access to the various activities that satisfy the human needs. So, urban transportation system planning is to the process that leads to the decision on transportation policies and program. In this process, planners develop information about the impact of implementing alternative courses of action involving transportation services such as a new highway, bus route changes or parking restriction. The information is used to help decision makers, they are elected officials or their representative, in their selection of transportation policies and program. So, the general goal of transportation planning is to accommodate this need for the mobility. Faster urbanization is due to population and economic growth. As you know, in our country population is going with a very fast rate, and also economic growth is too fast. So, urbanization mainly depends upon the population and the economic growth. Several factors have led to urbanization of the country. Population growth, as we have said, that our country has a very rapid rate of population growth. Migration, people from the rural area used to come in the urban area for better employability, better medical facility, better children education and so on. So, they are also providing a pressure on the urban areas. Expansion of town and cities, Apart from this, city or towns are self expanding. In every year, certain area are developed, are included in the urbanization. The number of urban agglomeration and the cities is increasing rapidly. A rapid urbanization has to lead to increase travel demand. Urban transportation system planning is the process that leads to decision on the transportation policies and the program. It is also required to support the complex activities pattern necessary for ensuring the vitality of the urban areas. The transportation system has a strong influence on the growth of an urban area, which may promote or hinder development or vice versa. We can say in India most of the cities are unplanned, are developed in such a fashion that the transportation system may hinder the development of the cities. So, like Chandigarh itself a very planned city, where you can say the development is a proper way or a proper ways. So, the transportation system is a very strong influence on the growth of and the urban areas. The travel demand is further aggravated due to increased use of private vehicles. Why private vehicles? Because the public transport system is not so efficient in the urban area. So, private vehicles are used to meet the travel demand. Here, our travel demand is a derived demand. What does it mean by derived? Derived means the mere purpose of travel is another thing, like a school. A school is not located in nearby area, or hospital is not located in nearby area, but people need to go in a school or in a hospital or the some market area. So, the main purpose is to go school, to go hospital, or purchasing something in the area where there are shops. So, it is called derived demand. The percentage share of trip by public transport is ever decreasing due to its less attractiveness. Why attractiveness? Less, because the city has a heterogeneous nature of transport, means people of low class, middle class are also living in the city, and so the person who is above the middle class, they won't like to use public transport due to condition of the transport vehicle, as well as the gentry who are travelling in the public transport system. So, our public transport system is a less attractive, means many people won't like to travel in the public transport. The transportation in most of the city of India is predominant remain as road based transportation system. Our in urban area, the transportation system is based on road, means total loads are coming in the road. except Kolkata and Mumbai, rest or less rest of the cities are not have a suburban transport system or suburban railways. So, the total load of transportation is coming on the road. So, it is very necessary to study the things such that the road transport should be attractive and should be taken care of all the person or travelers in the urban areas. The road capacity has not been augmented up to the level and has lagged far behind the demand due to physical constraint. The conditions of the public transport system is not good, or we can say that the level of service is not up to a standard level. So, what happened? And there is another thing, physical and physical, they are two constants. Physical means financial resources and physical means the physically availability of land, means land use. If we have a resources also, means we have the government or the authority has provided money for the development of the road, for the widening of the road, for the construction of the bridge in the urban area, but it may not be possible to widen the road because the already there is wide development or permanent development on both sides of the road. So, suppose if we want to expand the road in Lucknow, in Chowk area or Aminabad area, it is very difficult to expand the road or widen the road. So, despite of getting money or financial resources, it is not possible to widen the road in the Aminabad or Chowk side. So, both constant have to be considered for the development of the transportation system. This has created significant strain on the transport infrastructure and services, which has resulted in a heavy imbalance in transportation demand and supply, because there is no proper balancing of the demand. Demand is always we can say given priority, but different types of the people will not like to use public transport system or some system which is not very you can say useful for them. So, in this case they and supplies, means whatever the transportation supply is given, there is a wide difference in demand and supply. Although efforts are undertaken to improve the urban transport situation, new metro rail network in mega cities, bus rapid transit system, significant imbalance still remains. Of course, metro system is now constructed in many cities and it is used by all type of gentry because it is clean, it is quite comfortable and hindrance free. Despite of that, the rail network or metro rail network is not in sufficient quantity. This imbalance has only aggravated transport externalities such as congestion, energy, accident and emission. These are the 4 parameters which are available for the imbalance. So, we will discuss congestion in urban area. First thing we face is congestion. We will not reach at the destination in proper time due to congestion, and there is a problem of embarrassing conditions. So, in every urban area, this is the biggest problem of congestion, and of course, in congestion engine will be on for a longer time. So, energy will be used more, means fuel will be used more, and as energy means fuel is using more and more, the emission will be more, means carbon or green gases will be produced more when there is a congestion, and this also leads the accident. So, overall current urban transport scenario is a major issue in India which plague contemporary urban areas. Any country, a state or locality has a vision for its future. The government has already announced new urban transport policy. Government of India has announced it. This vision is generally articulated through various elected bodies and may change from time to time as the aspirant of the people changes. To lead to the goal and objective relating to the better mobility and connectivity which one want to achieve. Goal and objective to be achieved through the transportation are often stated as policies to be pursued by the different elected body. Being a democratic country at different level, the all committees are headed by the elected peoples. These may be as a general as improving the connectivity as to a specific as reducing the travel time of vehicle on a certain section of the highway. This is our objective. So, now the system objective, these may be general as a improving the connectivity so as to a specific as reducing the travel time of the vehicle on a certain section of the highway. A goal may be defined at the end to which a plan trends. First, progress, social justice and national unity. An objective may be conceived as a lower order goal which at least conceptually is capable of being measured. A standard is of lower order again that than an objective and represent a condition that is capable of both measurement and attainment. So, now we are closing here this unit. Thank you very much. Thank you.